You don't have to get too deep into watches to see that watch enthusiasts and collectors seem to have a weird vendetta against quartz timepieces. There's almost this snobby, elitist attitude against them, and an attitude I've seen myself partake in. As someone with smaller wrists, and as someone who spends a lot of time looking into women's watches, I've had to make my peace with quartz. But there have been so many times where I feel almost shafted by watch brands, as the smaller sizes, usually targeted to women, tend to be quartz. But I've been spending the last couple months really digging into quartz, and I've realized not all quartz is created equally, and there are quite a few models you probably shouldn't write off. So here's the best quartz watches I've found, from entry-level to high-end. If there's a brand that's leading the charge in quartz, it's Citizen. And I don't talk about Citizen enough on the channel for how fantastic they are. They have some great mechanical watches like the Soyuz automatic watches that have go anywhere, do anything specifications in a pretty versatile case. Or the Series 8 GMT. But no one else does quartz like they do quartz. There are two quartz concepts from Citizen that we need to talk about. So number one, the Eco Drive. And this movement is the meeting place of solar and quartz. Released in 1995, the Eco Drive is found in a majority of their models today. These have a quartz crystal, but they don't get their power from a battery like traditional quartz watches, but rather solar energy. So these have a solar panel behind the dial, which allows light to pass through and generate the electricity needed to power the movement. The quartz vibrates at a rate of exactly 32,768 vibrations per second, or 2 to the power of 15 hertz, which is pretty average for a quartz. But to put that into perspective, the average mechanical movement will run at 4 hertz, and an exceptional high-frequency mechanical movement will run at 8 hertz. So if you are someone who highly values accuracy, quartz has to be a consideration. The other caliber I want to talk about is the 0100, another Eco Drive movement, and this is the most accurate watch in the world. Introduced in 2019, the Calibre 0100 runs at 8,388,608 hertz. Timex is one of those brands that is affordable and still gets so much love from watch enthusiasts. And for good reason. They have a robust catalog of watches, with everything from Snoopy to chronographs, field watches, and GMTs. But there are two Timex watches that I particularly like and would recommend: the Q Timex and the Expedition Northfield Post Solar 36mm. Starting with the Q Timex and the Q Timex GMT, these have a very strong vintage sporty look to them, date at 3 o'clock, bicolor bezel, and available with the GMT complication as well. I just really think these scratch a sports watch itch, if that is an itch you have. The other watch I can't stop thinking about, the Expedition. This is so cool. So like the Eco Drive, these are solar powered, but still regulated through a quartz crystal. Really sporty looking field watch, available in 41mm as well, so they're available in 41mm and 36mm. Okay, you can't make a quartz video without bringing up Grand Seiko at some point. Grand Seiko treats quartz in such a marvelous way, and treats it like the innovation that it is. I feel like quartz is this dirty, gross word in the enthusiast world, and we're hesitant about change and movement, innovation moving forward. I do get the argument for the craftsmanship that goes into mechanical watches. I really do. But it feels like sometimes we have a blind allegiance to mechanical without thinking about how quartz could enhance mechanical watchmaking, or even watchmaking in general. And this is where Grand Seiko and the Spring Drive movement comes in. I think there would be some people who would argue that Spring Drive isn't quartz, but to me, there is a quartz crystal in there. To me, it's just like the Eco Drive. There isn't a battery in there, but it is still quartz regulated. So the Spring Drive movement is like the marriage of quartz and mechanical. It is taking the best of both worlds and wedding them. The accuracy of quartz, coupled with the power supply and craftsmanship of mechanical. So the Spring Drive movement gets its power the same way all mechanical watches do, through the winding and uncoiling of the mainspring, down through the gear train. It would then traditionally work its way to the balance wheel and escapement, but in the Spring Drive movement, it goes into the glide wheel, and the power created is regulated through quartz crystal. If it was me and my money going to buy a Grand Seiko, I would 100% be getting a spring drive movement. It is such a unique selling point for them and something that no one else is doing. I'd probably get a watch from their heritage collection. I can't stop thinking about the SBGA 497. I mean, look at this. Look at this slice of loveliness. Or the SLGA 019 Lake Sua. Beautiful, beautiful watch. Hey guys, Editing Britt here. Now, before we get to the last watch of this video, I have some notable shoutouts that I need to add in. These really probably should have been here from the start. I see what original Brittany was trying to do with this video. She was trying to cover as many bases as she could and big categories like the most accurate through Citizen, Quartz as we think of it through Timex, Quartz as an innovation through Grand Seiko, and Quartz from the high end, which is the next one. But there are too many amazing Quartz models that are going to get missed out unless I add it in. So 1, the Tissot PRX Quartz. This is traditional Quartz as we think of it, but just such a cool watch, great design, integrated bracelet, and you can't beat the price. Next, G-Shock. Who doesn't include G-Shock? I'm wearing a G-Shock. How did it not make it in? The indestructible watch on atomic time. You can get solar models with these as well. Next, the Brumetric. This one is just so different and weird. So this one is powered by the Seiko Hybrid VK68 Mecha Quartz chronograph movement, which probably fits closer to spring drive, being a mechanical quartz movement. So the timekeeping aspects are controlled through quartz, and the stopwatch functions of the chronograph are controlled by a mechanical module. It's just so cool. But yes, I apologize on behalf of Filming Brittany for missing all of these out, and Editing Brittany had to step in, take over, but all of that needed saying. All right, back to Filming Brittany. Okay, final watch on the list, and if you're a little bit too deep into watches, you probably saw this one coming. This is the highest end of quartz, the FP Journe Elegante or Elegante. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know this is a bit of a soft spot for me. The only watch I've ever had stolen was my FP Journe Elegante or Elegante in 40 mil. Sad times, but happy update. Journe have allocated me another Elegante. Yeah! The same one, 40 millimeters in the Titanite. I've been saving my money pretty much since it was taken from me, so I could hopefully get another one day, and it's due to be with me in the summer, so very excited. I still have no updates with the stolen one. That just kind of feels gone, but who knows? Maybe it will come up again one day. Then I can have 2. But this isn't about me. This is about a fantastic watch. Now, there is nothing like this in the market that I can think of. Powered by the Calibre 1210, this is finished to the next level. I can't think of a quartz watch that has this level of finishing. Then turning it over, the dial doesn't look like anything else. High lume, very sporty, from such a classical watchmaker. The dial almost reminds me of a cathedral clock. But the big exciting thing with the Elegante is how it goes to sleep and then wakes back up. So at the 4 o'clock, you will see a visible motion detector. After 35 minutes of inactivity, the watch will go to sleep. The hands will stop working, as do the mechanical parts of the watch. Then, when it is picked back up, the hands will move to tell the correct time in the shortest path possible. This is one of the coolest watches that money can buy. I already can't wait to pick mine up again. This is a grail for me. A true grail. Anyways, those are just some of my favorite quartz watches that money can buy. I feel like there's still so much more to say about quartz, so if you did like this one, let me know. I could keep talking about this. Subscribe if you haven't already, and now let's thank the gorgeous, fabulous, wonderful, never done anything wrong in their lives ever. Pope tier patrons. It's a slow jam patron song. Thank you, Pope tier patrons. Thank you, all tier patrons. Patrons really keep the lights on here. They support my work, and I'm so glad you enjoy my channel. Gosh, that singing is bad. I don't think that will encourage any new patrons. It might. It might make people unpatron me. But thank you, patrons. I love you. You're perfect.